Hello, dreamers. Welcome to this week's episode of Cherish, Live, and Dream. I am your host, YaYa.
And I am your host, Jay.
And we are your hope dealers. So this week, our topic is going to be, or is rather, stop letting blind people proofread your vision. Now, respectfully, we're not talking about people who are visually impaired. We are sensitive to that. But we're talking about people who may be blind to the creative side of your vision, any spiritual aspects of your vision, and things of that nature. So when you have a vision to do something, and when we speak about vision, we mean those visions that you have in regards to pursuing your dreams that just will not go away. And so sometimes when we have dreams, we have to be careful, guys, because we can't share with everyone because everyone is not on our team, okay? So when we talk about blind people reading your vision, if they're not open to receive what you're trying to, I guess, pursue as far as your dreams are concerned, or, maybe giving you some viewpoints or advice on how to pursue that dream, then maybe those folks are not who you should be sharing your dreams with. I don't know, just my opinion. What do you think, Jay?
I feel the same way. I mean, that's just like with this show. We had to work on some things, behind the scenes.
Right.
We had to get some things in order. There were a couple of times that we said, oh, we're going to do it this date, we're going to do it this date. And just certain things came up. And it wasn't that it was necessarily anything bad. It was just the timing wasn't right. And I believe that timing is everything because sometimes when you do stuff prematurely, it can end up just failing. And sometimes, you don't want to do things too early and try to rush and try to make things be the way that you want to be because unfortunately, it will not work. So, yeah, I really do agree with that. I agree that, sometimes you have to know when to share certain things with people and when not to. And then sometimes you just come out and it's bang, it's done. And someone will be like, oh, I didn't know that you was doing that. Well, the last time I checked, it wasn't a conference call, people. I didn't know I had to share it with you.
We didn't know that a Zoom meeting was scheduled
for you to be a part of what someone has going on. And the thing is, what God has for you is for you. And we all have different gifts and talents, and we all have things that we can execute in a different way. So you have some gifts and talents that are different from mine and vice versa. But at the same token, God connected us together, and here we are. So me and y'all, okay. Remember my analogy?
Yeah.
Okay, so
let's share it with the people.
Let me share it. So I wear contacts. YaYa wears glasses, but she don't wear glasses, if that makes sense. She's supposed to wear glasses, okay? So it can help her with her vision. But what's amazing to me is I wear contacts. And so, of course, the BA and the diameter for both contacts are the same. But in one of my eyes, I have a negative 150, and then in the other eye, it's a negative 225.
Girl, you sounded like an ophthalmologist.
Whichever one. Or ophthalmologist. But when I insert and place these contacts on my eyes, I can see. Mm-hmm. So it's amazing how there are two different numbers as far as negative 150 and negative 225. But when I put them on, my vision lines up together. Now, you wear glasses sometimes. And her vision is different. But when God connected us together, we had the same vision.
Come on.
So what we're trying to share with you on today is you have to be and get connected with the right people because everyone is not going to understand your vision. And then sometimes when you share things too early with people, then they will cast doubt on you and make it seem like, oh, that's not a good idea. Well, why are you doing that? And who told you that you could do that or whatever? And so then there you are again, stuck and being stagnant and being afraid and being fearful because, again, you've shared something with someone that God hasn't even released and even told you to share with someone.
Come
yet.
on.
That's all I have for right this second.
And let the church say amen, and the choir will now come up with a selection. But seriously, so when Jay and I met, we met years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined that she and I will be sitting here today speaking to the world, okay?
Yes.
And you guys will hear me say this all the time. I have tried this thing, which is now called Cherish, Live, and Dream, because I've had to make some name changes as well. Mm-hmm. And let me just talk about the name change a little bit. For all you believers of the faith, the Christian faith, when God changed your name, like he changed Abram to Abraham, he changed him from being just a regular old man to the father of many nations. Mm-hmm. And so you see how that covenant rested on his life. Mm-hmm. So I believe that sometimes you have to change up the game, not the vision, mm-hmm. but change up the game, maybe even the name, in order for you to receive the blessing that Abraham received. Now, I'm not a theologian or a biblical scholar. I'm only going off what I learned in vacation Bible school.
Sounds like to me he put some extra on his ordinary.
Honey, come on now.
Yeah.
So as far as a vision is concerned, when you are working or dealing with blind people, again, we're talking about creatively blind people, or even if they're not quite on the same page or level as your creativity, mm-hmm. if they're not offering, some good feedback or support of any kind, mm-hmm. It doesn't necessarily have to be financial.
That's right.
It could just be words of encouragement, because sometimes and I had to learn this the hard way, sometimes what you are delivering or whatever your service is, not everyone is interested in that service. And so for me, I'm thinking, oh, well, she's my girl, he's my guy, they're going to be all in with me. But that's not necessarily the case, because I guess the service that I am delivering is not something they're really into. But at the same time, you can still offer words of encouragement. Mm-hmm. You can still check on that person. Mm-hmm. Anything to help them continue on in their journey to see their vision come to life. Because once they write that vision and make it plain, somebody gonna run with it.
I'm telling you.
I don't know who it is.
I'm telling you.
But I'm talking to you, whoever is listening, either on the podcast or on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We want you to know that when you have a vision, don't lose sight of the vision.
That's right. And sometimes you have to let people go. Sometimes you just grow out of people. Mm-hmm. And actually, I share this with my daughter all the time. My daughter, she is in high school. And, she had some friends, in elementary. Then she had friends in middle school. And, she's thinking, oh, my friend. And I have to share with her, I'm like, Chase, everyone is not your friend. Some people are associates. You just associate with them because y'all go to the same school or because you might be in the same math class. But until you build a foundation and build a true relationship with someone that you can trust, someone that you can confide in, someone that comes over to your home or you go over to their home and the families connect and they build, those are friends. And 9 times out of 10, you're really not going to find those friends until you pretty much go off to college. And even after college, you still might lose some of those friends. Mm-hmm. And then when you go off into adulthood, I've even lost some people, along the way since I've been an adult. But at the end of the day, God will show you who is for you. And it's not that you have any ill will towards them. And it's not that you don't, want the best for them. But sometimes when you go into a different direction and God is taking you down a different path, it's no love lost. It's just that we don't have, anything in common anymore.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that you don't speak to them when you see them. It doesn't mean if their car breaks down that you wouldn't stop on the side of the road to help them, get to their destination safely. It's just that the daily connection or the things that y'all used to do or the things that you talk about, you just kind of grown out of them. And so as you were speaking on about people, supporting you or not being a part, a good friend of ours told us that people will help you when you pay them. but people will support you when they believe in you.
Evangelist.
And that really stuck with me.
Mm.
When that was said to us during one of our meetings, that has really stuck with me because, sometimes when you're in a dark place, and y'all, that right now we thought our place was dark, but this was the time that God really elevated us and really had us to be creative during this time of transition that we both are going through. And we just have to trust God in any processes that we're going through, and we have to let Him be Him and not allow our hands to be into everything, because sometimes when we try to put our hands into it, we mess it up and we create a mess.
Yes.
And so my motto is to myself, when I start to feel like, okay, Johnette's trying to be in control of this, and then I start worrying, oh, I got to take care of this next week, and this has to be done today, and oh, how am I going to do? And then I go, oh, and then I hear that little voice say, you do what you're supposed to do, and you let me handle the rest. So that's what we did with this talk show, guys. There was countless nights, countless phone calls, Zoom phone calls, countless money that we had to spend. And eventually we're still going to have to spend more money. But we don't have everything right now, but what we have is enough. And sometimes, you guys, that's what you have to stand on. You have to stand on what you have right now is enough. I mean, you think about all these productions, all these big, ABC productions, or even, with Tyler Perry. He didn't start out where he is today.
Right.
He had to eventually graduate and get there. But his first step, he just had to step out on faith. And I'm sure that there were some people that turned him down, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of people turned him down.
Right.
And told him pretty much that he was crazy for doing what he was doing. So he had to get to a place, and I'm sure of this. It's not that I've talked to Tyler Perry personally, because I do not know him personally, but I'm just saying, as far as his vision and where he is today, and the story that I've heard, him share in interviews, that he had to stay focused, and he had to trust God, and he had to go with the vision and look at where he is today. So what I'm saying to you guys is, whatever you have written down, whatever that dream is, keep it to yourself and keep it between you and God, or whoever that you may believe in, or a person that that you can trust, and that will encourage you and that will support you. Not you having to pay them, because that's the only way that they'll help you is because of money, because you might not have a whole lot of money right now.
And we know that.
Okay? So get someone that will support you, get someone that will help you, get someone that will believe in you. And like I always say, whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. And it takes time. Sometimes it's not meant for us to rush. It's pretty much like a photography. I'm assuming that they still do photography this way, but I'm not for sure.
I don't know.
Back in the day, they used to have the dark room.
Uh-huh.
And, you would have to have the doors closed, and, they would have like an infrared, I guess, red light or whatever. And developing takes time. So if you would open up that door too soon, then you will mess up the picture. And that's what I'm saying about whatever your vision is. You will mess it up if you try to start it too soon when it's not completely ready, or if you're trying to tell someone about it and you don't even know what all the odds and the ends are going to be at the end of the day, because you're still trying to figure it out. So just hold on to it and just nurture it, just water it, and just write it down, and just hold on to it, and just believe in yourself. And I do have a quote, because I'm big on quotes. And again, we're not talking about blind people, but I can say I love Helen Keller.
Right.
Helen Keller has the best quotes. And the quote that I have today is, the only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. And that is a quote by Helen Keller. And I'm going to say that 2 times, because I want you to let that resonate. And I want you to really have an understanding on what that is. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. And that we can see.
Right.
But although that we can see, sometimes things can be right there in front of us, and we can't even see it because we're too focused on other things and worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow, when we just need to deal with what's going on today. So again, what you have is enough. So just start where you are. And eventually, if you keep pushing, if you keep trusting, and if you just keep believing in yourself and getting people that will support you, you will be further than what you were last year.
And also, I wanted to add, as far as when it is that time to share your vision, how you see fit, and hopefully you're taking that time to figure out who and when, like Jay said earlier, you're going to share that vision with. So when Jay and I started talking about the show and kind of like, hey, in our eyes, we were just going to be like, bam. But we decided to share our vision with a very important person in our lives, who's been in our lives through thick and thin and everything.
Yes.
And this particular person is a businessman. He's he's everything, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one day we'll share who that is.
That's right. One day.
After we get his permission. But anyway, so we decided to share a vision with someone who is kind of on the same path as where we're going. So you want to share your vision or your dreams or whatever it is that you want to do with like-minded people. Now, although the particular arena that he is in is not necessarily what we're doing, he didn't say, oh, ladies, that's jacked up or whatever. He gave us recommendations, support, and even connected us.
Yes.
To another very important person
yes.
who we will name later,
yes.
once we get permission,
yes.
who is actually very instrumental in helping us get this production off the ground. So this is more than a year in the making, and we are so very proud.
Yes.
But it's because that we didn't rush. Of course, I wanted to, what's that song? Don't Rush. But anyway,
that's
I wanted to go ahead and put it out there and then let the rest be the rest. But then at the same time, the people that we're communicating with and networking with as far as producing the show really gave us some nuggets.
Yes.
And so we really had to take a step back because we was launching this show like every month.
Yes, yes, especially with y'all. I have a little more patience, but she was ready. And I'm like, no, girl, we got to do everything decent and in order now. We got to back up a little bit. But that's another thing, too. You need someone that balances you. Like me and y'all are completely different, but at the same token, our connection is just bomb. I mean, we really balance each other out. So where I'm weak, she's strong, and vice versa. And we just get along so well. And again, like she said earlier, we had been friends for a while, but it was just during a certain time to where we really connected on a different level. So we weren't always this close. We were pretty much like associates, I guess. We associated, with the arena that we were in, and we would see each other, and we would speak, of course, hug and, be nice. And from time to time, we would even go out to eat, lunch or dinner or whatever. But now it's a total different ball game. Like our friendship, our sisterhood, our love for one another, and the kids have really, really leveled up to a whole different level. And it's amazing how, like I said earlier, timing is everything.
It is.
And one of my affirmations is everything happens for a reason. And during that time, God was just building us. We were both in two different places, and then connected us when we both was going through something at the exact same time. And we was there to encourage one another and to lift one another up. And now here we are.
And I have a friend, actually I've known her for years. We've known each other since middle school. I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but we'll talk. She's one of those friends where we may go months, years and not talk, but once we connect, it's just like we hadn't skipped a beat. And she's a therapist. And of course, one time I'm going through whatever I'm going through, and she was like, listen, you can have the life that you want to live. And at the time, I didn't understand it because I'm like, boo-boo, I got bills, I got a kid. I mean, what are you talking about? But now I get it. I get it now, and this is years, and I wonder if she remembers the conversation, but this is years from then, now, fast forward to today, that means you have to take a step or a leap of faith, whatever that is for you. And how this show came to fruition or to life is by me and Jay taking a leap of faith. A huge leap of faith. Huge. And one day we'll have Testimony Thursday and tell the story. But today we're just going to focus on the vision.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing. I'm bringing that up to say sometimes in order for that vision to come to light, you have to take a leap of faith. And whatever that is for you, I encourage you, don't sit on it. Don't wait. Whatever you, like Jonette said, oh, I'm sorry, Jay said.
It's okay.
It's all right. Woo, I done got so comfortable with y'all cousins and cousinettes.
That's okay.
Jay,
That's right.
said you have to focus on timing. You have to go ahead and get started. Take it one day, one step, whatever it is, write the vision and go from there because you have enough. So that's all that I have, Jay. Anything else you want to share with the people?
No, I think that's it for today, you guys.
All right. Well, guys, we thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Listen, we are on anywhere you can listen to a podcast. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. And we are on Instagram. So check us out. Comment. We want to hear from you.
Yes.
We want to know your thoughts. Let us know what you want us to talk about.
That sounds great. And I was just about to say that too. See, great minds think alike.
She completes me.
Yes, and she completes me.
So let us know, like I said earlier on in, I guess, the first or second show, we want to have an interactive discussion, conversation with you. You are our people. You are why we are here.
Yes.
So as we are closing out, just remember to cherish your loved ones, live in the present, and dream the impossible. We'll see you next week. Love you guys.
All right, love you.
Bye. Bye.